Turkey shoulder, snap your fingers, one and all in the hall at the ball and all. Some more, commence to dancing, commence to dancing, commence to dancing, right to left to glancing. I want you dancing, slide, glide, prancing. You do the tango jiggle, the dances how we wiggle, hold the order and home, slide in, hold, turkey shoulder, snap your fingers, one and all in the hall at the ball and commence to dancing, commence to dancing, commence to dancing, right to left to glancing. I want you dancing, slide, glide, prancing. You do the tango jiggle, the dances how we wiggle, hold the order and home, slide in, hold, turkey shoulder, snap your fingers, one and all in the hall at the ball and commence to dancing, commence to dancing, commence to dancing, right to left to glancing. I want you dancing, slide, glide, prancing. You do the tango jiggle, the dances how we wiggle, hold the order and home, slide in, hold, turkey shoulder, snap your fingers, one and all in the hall at the ball and
Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to Backroom Broadsides. Tonight we have a special night. We have writings by Rich Villar and Mauro Altamura. And of course, today is December 7th, a very important day. In the year 185, Chinese astronomers identified what goes down in history as the first supernova ever recorded. And their name for it, by the way, was in Chinese, of course, guest star. In 1909, plastic was invented in a laboratory. In 1917, the United States declared war on the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and we officially entered World War I with that. And of course, the day is very famous in our time for the 360 warplanes from Japan that attacked the island of Oahu, Pearl Harbor, in the Hawaiian Islands. You know, that event kind of hurled a big rock into the waters of history that then led into other things. But in fact, other rocks had been thrown before that preceded it and created it. I just think it's important for us to remember that whenever you throw a rock, it has repercussions. And other rocks that were thrown on this day came down. You know, Willa Cather was born today, and Noam Chomsky was born today. Ellen Burstyn was born today. And a favorite of mine was born today as well, Louis Prima. The music goes round and round, oh, 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 and it comes out here. Louis Prima. Anyway, all those things happened today. And Pearl Harbor happened today, too. So before I go on any further, I want to begin to introduce Rich Villar. Rich Villar writes poetry. He writes essays. He's from Paterson, New Jersey, which, if you're interested in poetry, Paterson's got quite a history. Allen Ginsberg he actually did the stacking in the Paterson Library. He worked the stacks, as they say. And I recommend everybody, if you get a chance, to go to the Patterson Library to look at those old wrought iron. I don't even know what you call them. The interior of the building is like made out of wrought iron. And the stacks where Alan worked are still there. And of course, it's where William Carlos Williams wrote so beautifully about. And he also worked in the hospitals, Patterson, during the influenza epidemics. So Rich Villar comes from a noble tradition. He's written for HBO. He's written for NPR. He's published a book called, I want to get this right, Comprehending Forever, a book of poetry. And he's also in an anthology called What Saves Us? Empathy and Outrage in the Era of Donald Trump. These books are available on Amazon. Without any further ado, let me bring on Rich Villar. Hey, Rich, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm about to hear a great reading.
All right. Well, then let's get right to it.
Let's get it on.
Yeah, sure. Well, so William Carlos Williams is a touchstone. Allen Ginsberg is a touchstone. The city of Patterson, and these things inform my work. If you ever take a look at the stuff on the page, it looks, something like the variable foot gets its due, gets its tribute. And that's due to William Carlos Williams. I've thought a lot about him during this pandemic that just passed by. But anyway, so we're gonna get into some music poems, a couple of elegies, some love poems. You know how I do. So this first one is dedicated to a genre of music that is called freestyle. It is something that is specific to northern New Jersey, to the Bronx, where I live now, to New York City generally, and to Fresno, California, which is why this is dedicated to my friends Joseph and Sarah from Fresno. If you've never heard freestyle music before, the references will escape you, but because it is so Jersey inflected, you will notice some of the things like popping up here. So let's launch into it. This is called freestyle poem number 1. Diamond girl, you make me feel. Diamond girl, you orange sunrise sea. Diamond girl, you drive to LBI. Diamond girl, you gunmetal gray sky. Diamond girl, you tongue stud in Bloomfield. Diamond girl, you Z Cavarici T-top cityscape. Diamond girl, you day job secretarial cover story. Diamond girl, you bikini in your purse. Diamond girl, you Seaside Heights balcony goddess. Diamond girl, you summer tiki bar. Diamond girl, you towels on the seats. Diamond girl, call your mother. She's worried. Diamond girl drives to Lake George. Diamond girl, 25 cousins. Diamond girl, fight your ass in the club. Diamond girl, snatch your boyfriend's drink. Diamond girl, you motorcycle on the beach. Diamond girl, you dream of suburban backyard. Diamond girl, you need to forget again. Diamond girl, you don't have to explain. Diamond girl, you make me dodge bullets. Diamond girl, you make me fix my credit. Diamond girl, you make me feel like I'm on fire when you are near, like I'm the love I was supposed to feel, like I'm trying not to scream, like I'm old sirens dying in a sunshine dream, like I'm taking the leather-wrapped wheel, like I'm the fifth gear down the parkway, like I'm the state trooper hat in the windshield, like we left the house at 7 a.m. with coolers and ollas, like I'm skee ball on boardwalk, watch the tram car, please, like I'm the riptide and you're the June water, like I'm the only day we had on the beach, like I'm trying to let go of the scorched earth, like I'm inside the embrace of Yamaja Blue, like I'm silver hitting the water, like I'm home inside a sausage and pepper sandwich, like I'm loose board chancleta tripping saltwater air, like I'm home inhaling this crescent moon sea, like I'm home inside your hand, small and large simultaneously. You captivate me with your smile, with your crossfire, with your Brooklyn, with your Jersey babies, with your family business, with your New Eureka, with your booyah, with your short curls, with your long curls, with your restless radio, with your to-do lists, with your laundry fetish, with your lesson plans, with your sunroof, with your subtleties, with your head smash, with your laugh. Girl, you make me get so wild. Girl, you ain't no girl. Girl, you mathematics on a windstorm, girl. You've been driving with me since the beginning, girl. You wrote me into being. Girl, you broke me into weeping. Girl, you named me without sleep. Girl, you dreamed me lush. Girl, you blamed me for your blush. Diamond girl, tú me haces sentir lírico poeta junto a ti. Buried all fists in Long Branch Beach. Found your face inside my own. Mi niña de diamante, si tú eres. Yes. Yes. All right. So, that's New Jersey writ large. Now we've shifted over to Brooklyn, where some of my extended family lives. This is called Duende makes an entrance at Fort Hamilton Parkway. If you've ever stood at the Fort Hamilton Parkway station on the N train, you know that there are arches there, and that kind of calls to the famous essay of the theory and play of the Duende. And this is a poem about Duende. Duende makes an entrance at Fort Hamilton Parkway. Watching the roof lines for the angel, I say, I dare you to sing. Bring all the heartbreak a la cañona. Bring the bad year, its thousand deaths. Bring what I carry on my back, in the center of my lungs, oil and petrochemical residue, a stranger's face staring back in the mirror. Bring the sugar. Yes, even the sugar in the blood. Bring the lazy kidney. Bring all my machista promises, all the knives in my throat I had to swallow. Bring the embankment, the kiss of steel and guardrail. Bring 2004. Bring all my blackout curtains. Bring the one who named an unbirthed daughter. Bring the one who disappeared me. Bring the one who needed the jewel I did not possess. Bring my brother his half loves. Bring my sister the cold rain. Bring my father's drums, his silences. I'm telling you, angel of the stained glass window, I'm telling you, muse of the empty chair, bring me everything I don't want to hear. The unpreparedness, the overturned tables in your temple, the gnawed bellies, the swarm of cold bones. To all your demigods, I bring the necessary sacrifices. Palo Santo y Salvia, the bells of Santa Cecilia, la música del barrio subiendo hasta por los techos de Brooklyn. I will not fail you. I will not find the heart of my love at the end of your life. I sang, walk with me, you, this I that is not I, pasando por el ardiente arco de mis noches, dark corners surging from heel to palm. I write you into existence, Django's lightning. I dance you presenta, lights dotted against the black velvet sky. I sing you into the smoke rushing through the arch at Fort Hamilton Parkway. Duende has made their entrance, por fin. Flash of sun to the eye at dawn. Obod of kisses, of sudden kisses on Palm Sunday. You don't plan this. You don't wish. You don't seek or be sought out in the sky above the train stops. Duende dances on the dams of your river. They patiently crack the walls, waiting for yourselves to return to tea, and they bring the resurrection, and they bring the life, whether or not the angel decides to sing, whether or not I was ready to be dead. All right. So this one is another poem of place. Tends to go everywhere. Much like when you are starting to sort of fall for somebody, and you have all the language except the thing you want to say. So this is called Unsaid. I wanted to tell you everything. Say everything on this express bus the fuck out of Staten Island, on this fence next to Daniel's house, on Mario's sofa bed, the crossbar digging into 2 of 3 herniated discs. I wanted to tell you everything, say everything on the downtown D, the uptown N, the Metro North to Grand Central for the 3rd time this week, the platform in Union Square where the white boy was accused of being a cop, on the 6 train listening to I Belong to You, on the 4 train listening to Sweetest Taboo. If I tell you now. I wanted to tell you everything, say everything on the bench in Gramercy Park, at Cafe Reggio, staring down the portrait of Cesare Borgia, in my lockdown office, my lockdown library, on the walk through Washington Square. I wanted to tell you everything, say everything that had been left unsaid when I left you at the doorstep to your job, when I left you at the train stop, when I left you in the cab and kissed the palm of my hand instead, when I left you with a kiss to the cheek, when I watched your cab drive off, when I knew you were safe for now, when I left you there and there and there, when I planned to leave you off at anywhere you'll have me. The stir of my blood insistently saying the things that stay inside my reluctant mouth. I may have called you sweet thing once, may have said, my dear, corazón, shorty rock, may have offered your name in a quick prayer before sleep. I wanted to tell you everything, say everything when you carried me in your ear from block to block and room to room, the cursing under your breath, the pained heels and flexed hands. At your ear, while your eyes moved from corner to corner, while you breathed in the cooling August night, while you breathed, at your ear which carried nothing but my voice in the moment I allowed to pass, I could have said everything. I could have told you everything, said every small and large thing your captive ear needed to know about time and circumstance. I could have told you time is nothing but an agreement to mark among us to mark the places we watch God's oldest command take shape. Let there be light. The shape of bright and darkness that will chase us regardless. And while I have you now, let me tell you something about circumstances. No one warned me that you would be my walk to a subway train, that you would be my story time shared bench in a corner of a D train, or that I would choose to miss every stop because I needed to tell you everything, say everything about myself that I've been healing, hear you healing inside the lines of your books, the ones that stay inside your reluctant mouth. Corazón, shorty rock, don't you know what I've been trying to say all this time? Play this in your ear the next time you walk by yourself. I didn't show up at anybody's train but yours. I didn't arrive in anybody's time but the interlude between the light and the darkness. I didn't ask for my heart to stop. Everything I need to say is already caught up in that part of your brain that sets your eye to dreaming. I want all the walks you got in you. I want all the coffee your sandwich guy got. I want to ride with you to all the stops I hadn't planned on. I want to know what's trapped in your mouth. I want you to know what's trapped in mine. I want you to hear me in both your ears. I want to hear what happens under your breath when the door closes on the Metro North and you fumble for the ticket when nobody else is close enough to hear it. Is it the right time to say this? Probably not. I was trying to say everything all at once. And I think we have to go to work now. Back to the N Train. This is called Angels of the N Train. Yeah. Inspired by my desire to be a dad. Okay. Baby boy baffled by blinding lights outside the subway car. His eyes narrow like a small film noir detective, scanning the place for suspects. Guy's name Muggsy. Looks to his father for assurance. The dad takes his tiny hand, himself the picture of cloudy morning and lack of sleep, and baby boy asks, without fanfare, where his mama is. Mama is waiting for us, Pop responds, and the detective returns, his mean mug unpracticed and natural as the inquiry for his mother. For a moment, he catches me in his glare, and I'm the suspect now. I surrender to his 3-second toddler inscrutability, and I bulge my eyes as if caught red-handed with the Maltese falcon. I'm waiting for a laugh, any sign of amusement, really. Instead, the eyes narrow again, and he resumes his watch. By now, we have passed Atlantic on our way into Manhattan. The father, on cue, lifts his son onto his lap, turns him toward the dark window. Baby boy flaps his arms up and down, anticipating something he recognizes, not because he has read the station signs, but because he remembers the interplay between light and darkness on his way to his mother. How his father lifted him up just in time for the picture in the train window to crack like an egg. His father, a wizard, carrying him across the Brooklyn sky in a chariot cloaked in steel. The Manhattan Bridge transforms baby boy's eyes into film projectors, his imagination whispering reminders to his soaring spirit, the purest wizardry. Baby boy's heart, miracle, water into wine, the thing he can only call magic. I can do this magic. All right. A couple more, and then I think we'll be at a at a at a place to be done. Um, this is inspired in part by a poem by Robert Hayden called "Those Winter Sundays." Sundays for me were all about fresh Italian bread that my father would bring in the house, and so there was warmth that didn't come necessarily from a furnace, but it came from this hot bread that butter and beauty just rose at the kitchen countertop. So panaderia means bakery in Spanish, and this is called Obad with Sunday devotional at the panaderia. When the sun has yet to rise, when the sky merely hints its blue arriving, you have come to praise an altar of bread. It is Sunday, deep January. You push the door open. Cafecito and newsprint rise into the nostrils with pan sobao. Hoy día, la señora tiene un café orgánico en bolsa, recién llegado de Lares, y tú, como un buen puertorriqueño, are about to buy every last pound of coffee in this bakery. She says the farmers work in a collective that was decimated by the last hurricane and that they were independentistas, that Lolita Lebron was from Lares. I thought she was from Jayuya, you say, y la señora dice, quizás estás pensando en Blanca Canales Torres, hola, and you swore you would not buy quesitos, but they're calling your name from the display case, and maybe you figure you could split one with your kid, even though you would never encourage it. Ah, bueno, those days are past. And it's bad enough you're bringing home 3 pounds of white bread and the Sunday New York Times, but this is your devotional. You remember how your father would rouse your mother from sleep on Sundays, that love shows up with holy bread to take care of its own. Before diabetes, before the funeral, before arthritis ravaged your queen's bones, you came from a people created as revenge against the hurricane. Resilience is your existence. Your church, crisp air and pine trees, the path from the panaderia to the house you bought within walking distance. You arrive home just as the dawn reveals your backyard, your beaten woodshed, and shrubbery. One gnarled maple at the center, grand old century with the tire swing. Baby, you promise her, it's all coming out eventually. You watch. Piscina, nice lawn, ya verás. You toast your bread old school in a fry pan weighted down with your abuela's caldero, and you know she's going to hate being awakened by Joe Cuba, bang, bang, alarm clock, pero for better or worse, El Espíritu Santo always enters through the kitchen. You put bread and fresh brewed café on a tray, climb the stairs to enter the Holy of Holies, la habitación, where no non-anointed man may enter. The sun begins to dapple your dresser. She stirs beneath the disapproving quilt. Hacho, nene, tan temprano en domingo. Yes, hell yeah, I'm home. All right. One more, and then we are done. The other day, so this is dedicated to my my workplace actually. So I work in NYU, and I work at a really beautiful spot called Cooper Square. This past summer there was a salsa concert in Cooper Square, and I imagined for some reason what would happen if it was a concert that was being given by nothing but saints. Don't ask me why, but this is called Still Life with Jodona and Saint Carlo Rossi. Carlo Rossi is a wine. Still Life with Jodona and Saint Carlo Rossi during an All Saint Salsa concert in Cooper Square. Yeah. Pura Jodona, e manita del Pachuco, títere, in black and white. On a summer Saturday, you say to me, don't paint me like no saint. A wide brimmed fedora floats above the conguero in Cooper Square. You tripping right now. The dancers in the square sway without thought, sweat without shame, name the night sky breathless. You own both my lungs for the 13 seconds it took you to walk down that long ass ramp at Grand Central. Y ahora estoy bien enchulado. Bueno, that's your problem. I gotta go to work. Santa Barbara on the upright bass, San Lázaro en piano, Santa Cecilia de timbalera, and St. Francis, the street preacher, answers the lady back, trying to record the dancers in real time while 18 insomniacs and motocicleta pop wheelies in front of Peter Cooper's bust. She told him about the time the breath left her hand, her brother's face. He told her about his father's harmonica, the self-taught boleros he played for the full moon. All that's missing from a complete biographical snapshot of Latinidad in this moment is a roll call of ex-lovers marching into the frame with their bullshit excuses and empty handfuls of never was, never will be, and a brujo on St. Mark's Place shaking all his chequeres until dude tells her how he feels. He tells her how he feels. All the clocks stop. The band stops playing. Where the fuck did you come from? I'll tell you where I came from. Night blooming jasmine on a Park Slope hill. New music. Old friends. An old book of poems. Apretado aroma. On a train. Bendiciones of St. Carlo Rossi whispered between friends. 3/4 of a bottle. El piano de Palmieri. Tostado y colado. Y tú? You are a constellation I have unlearned into the shape of your face. You are a book the boy can fill with all your names. Nena, ain't nobody saints out here. Not even the saints. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Here you go.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Wow. You know, the whole image of unlearning a constellation until it becomes the face of somebody you know, somebody you love. That's almost like what so much of your poetry you read tonight was doing for me.
That's Jack Gilbert. I can't even take credit for that. I kind of ganked that off of Jack Gilbert. But
you ganked it off of Jack, huh? Well,
hell
you're
yeah.
also writing it. You're Obeyed. I mean, the Obeyed, to those who don't know, is a poem you write in the morning as you're parting a lover.
That's right.
And it's an old Provençal idea. And as a kid, I remember those warm loaves of Italian bread.
Oh my God.
And the steam coming off it, and the way the language, especially the Spanish, came off of it, which I didn't fully grasp.
Yeah.
But also I was just left with the sound of it and the beauty of it rising like steam off of your poetry. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful reading.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rich.
Thank you, sir.
That was great. We're going to move on to our next reader, a prose writer. Mauro, I've known Mauro Altamura for many, many, many years. And in his first incarnation, because in his life, you have incarnations, plural, within one life. And the first maybe 25 years I knew him, or 20 years I knew him, he was a terrific photographer with shows and beautiful shows, and really using the photograph to stretch what the art could say. I don't know how to put it. His work was always pushing, forgive the cliche, he pushed the envelope always with his photographs. And now, for the last several years, he's been writing creative fiction. And I remember he worked on a bookmobile in Rochester, New York. And I was able to get some books that you couldn't get anywhere else but on the bookmobile. And now he's writing prose. And he's got kind of a nice name here in Jersey City because he's also been teaching for about 30 years at New Jersey University. And he's also taught in Rome as a John Cabot lecturer. And I could say a lot about Morrow. And I'm not going to bore you all with everything I have to say, but I want to introduce my really, really good friend and an artist I've always admired, Morrow Altamura.
Thanks so much, James. I really feel honored to get that introduction. And Rich, geez, I missed hearing your poetry for so long. Rich and I were in a grad program at Rutgers, 12 or so years ago, maybe more than that. So beautiful, amazing work, Rich. Thanks for sharing that. And so this is a short story, and it is actually just half of a short story because it's as much as I can read for my time here tonight. So you'll get about half of it, and if you want to read the rest of it, I'll let you know as soon as someone publishes it. And the title of it is Theme for an Imaginary Hero. Tommy got way low, snaked over the attic floor through dust and dried bug legs, crumbs from Munchie's fits. His thumb and index finger pinched the turntable's tone arm, laid it down super gentle. The pop, pop, hiss, pop, sizzle calmed his jitters when the needle hit its groove. Nice, he whispered, squinted at his buds, Jackson, Jose, and Rafe. None of them had moved. His ear pressed hard into the speaker's black mesh cover and waited while the album revved, waited some more, and then thump-a-dump, thump-a-dump. The gut punch drumming came, the theme's everlasting intro born again. Hammond organ's blast funneled down to mellow chords, leaving only silent white space, ice-melting vocals, all one breath. Guitar, drums, God voice, fucking freaky. Mountains theme for an imaginary Western. Tommy laid back. He zoned into his inner movie's beginning. Scene 1 co-starred him. A wagon train, carting haunted men and women, scraggly-eyed, ragged children trailing. Movie dogs followed, movie mules hitched up last, all slow walking as the wagons leave the city. The song peaked, the movie played, the hugest ever lead guitar in all rockdom screamed a high E, cleared a path for the escaped bird singer's lilt. On inner cinemascope, Tommy sat knee to knee with the driver leading the train. Tommy was ready to take over the reins when and if said driver needed to pee. He knew the driver from somewhere, but the scene went fuzzy whenever it flashed on the man. The man. I know that mother effer, Tommy muttered. It was Friday night. Tommy and his boys were deep into their high, four freak pals passing Vietnam gold, pre-rolled slim, clean joints. They'd crashed at Jackson's attic bedroom, had finished their A&P cart collecting job on the frozen supermarket's parking lot backdrop. Dope blowing followed work. Only Tommy saw the movie, and he wouldn't tell them what was going down interior-wise. Not yet, anyhow. Why mess their high? Why fuck their shit? No. Tommy wanted to keep Mountain's album spinning all night, drop the tone arm forever, jam the needle in, let the movie exist eternally. So he did. Until Jackson rose to his full 5'6" to speak. Herzog has died this week, Jackson pronounced. January 6, 1971, R.I.P. Jackson kept sucking on his joint, one of the many sent by the very same Herzog throughout that past fall. Expired, Jackson said, 4 days, 15 hours ago. Huh? Big Herzog? Samson's brother? Bummer, Jose said. Bummer. No longer among us. Jackson clamped the gold. His lonely mom gave me the news. Herzog is dead on Ho Chi Minh's trail. Fuck Ho Chi, Jose said, the dark January night gone darker. Fuck, ho, fuck. What? Herzog? Shit. Tommy got a twinge in his gut, thinking of the dead man, the boy, knowing his kid brother Samson, who, like all of them, sat 1 year out from the draft. Maybe Tommy should say something, do something, help Samson, really. Instead, he replayed the song. He desired no trouble. His only imperative was to listen and watch the wagons. Give me that shit. Rafe pulled Jackson's arm, causing the non-pass joints roach to tumble on the crumb-laden mattress, burn a hole through cotton undersheets to its plastic slipcover. Fuck, I'm not putting that in my special mouth now. Muy scuzzy. Rafe flicked away the roach like he would a roach. The four stared as the smolder faded and died. Herzog, a grunt 2 years the guy's senior, he mailed all the nom dope they needed. 12 pencil-thin beauties arrived every week, but only to Jackson. Herzog had a thing for Jackson, wrote love letters from the front, sad, desperate, horrifying letters to describe the beautiful solitude of the jungle, detailing double blotter hits of window pane or Cali sunshine, LSD-laced green M&Ms, all the trips engaged while grenades exploded and punji sticks took out legs, took out dicks. He wrote of Viet kids shot to shit just because they huddled in suspicious grass huts. Letters like this. They run through blooming yellow flowers. Orange and red flip-flops flap against muddy heels until Corporal Scumface whoops them out of hiding with a club. Jackson, man, they're just past babies. Herzog wrote his very last letter. And before anyone says diddly, their brains and bones explode in fantastic goo. Human Play-Doh flies up from tiny fire-engulfed huts. Corp and his gun-loving, grenade-chucking, machete-hacking minions complete the task. Trample blessed kids' remains, pushing bloody gray matter deep into Mother Earth. Herzog. His florid prose and poems had started in Brother Stephen's senior seminar at St. Michael's High School, where he had preceded all these good men as an alum, where they still attended, where Herzog realized and wrote of his love for Jackson, telling him so before shipping out. Herzog ended every note heartfelt and true. Maybe me and you can do something, Jackson. Take a trip or whatnot when I get back. Love you, brother. Herzog. X, X, X. The gift joints came protected, sealed packets within Army Reg envelopes, snuck past dozing censors and glomming hands, as uniform as a pack of Winstons. Shipments arrived up to and including December, 3 extra packs for Christmas, as if Herzog knew the supply would have to hold Jackson et al. For a while, as if he knew he'd never get back to Hudson City, take a trip with Jackson or anyone. Herzog, riddled with 20 sniper rounds on the last day of battle, separated from the platoon, who knew why? January 6, 1971, day of demise, 18 months before Tommy, Jackson, Rafe, Jose, and with luck, Samson could graduate. Herzog had been 20. We got 5 packs left from Herzog's gifts. Jackson came back a long minute after the obituary pronouncement. Bloodshot eyes teared, spilled over blonde, almost whiskers. I would have gone traveling with him. Not just the draw of being high an entire trip, not either because Jackson cried when he told the guys about Herzog, since Jackson cried for all sorts of dumb shit, and this wasn't dumb, but because everyone knew Jackson loved Herzog too, from way back. Not the same way Herzog loved him, but as his hero, because Herzog happened to walk into Hudson City Park bathroom one afternoon when Jackson, age 9, was about to get butt-fucked by a real abuser. Herzog carried his Adirondack slugger daily, but that special day he was coming home from an actual Little League game. He entered the unfragrant, too dark and dingy sub-basement to pee, and caught the bad man pants down, whacked the guy's knees. Guy crawled out over shitted and pissed on cement. Lucky, really lucky, Herzog only whacked him once. Jackson, ergo, became loyal as hell to Herzog. Jackson, Herzog, love. Samson canceled his SATs, Jackson said later that night after he settled down. Samson was a junior like Tommy and the boys, but a jock in C Group, all-star tight end on St. Mike's County Champs football, forward on B-ball, though not a starter on the latter, only there because he was a large fellow. Coach put him on the team and tried his best to get Samson into blowouts at least. Too bad Samson couldn't figure out the give and go. Coach kept him playing anyhow. He would especially now that Herzog's body bag was en route. Samson said he wasn't up to any SATs because of Herzog, Jackson relayed. I actually think he's full of shit. He's barely in C class. He should be down in D with the rest of the retards. Jackson gave no quarter to lesser intellects, not even Herzog's brother. No patience for those who couldn't keep up with his top grades, debating skill, musical virtuosity, and authorship of 90% of the biannual St. Mike's Marquee skits. Jackson's funny, sad, and sometimes convoluted scripts never ended in fake fistfights, as did his poorly written competitors. Jackson played Sweet Bird, riffs on sax, then closed the shows with Take 5. Typing class girls got hyped enough to dance weird disco or the shuffle. Sometimes they hustled in line. Jackson held back, shy and cool, sliding skin over bandmates' palms. Someone should take that SAT shit for him, Jose said. Do him a solid. Guy's a dumb mother. He'll wind up in the army like his bro, get blown to bits. Other dopes buy their way out. Not Samson. Jose stared into his own bad future. I gotta get into some school anywhere. I ain't got no money either. His voice thin, eyes peered forward to what hell might be. Man, what? Take SATs for another person? How the fuck? Rafe said. You gonna say you're Samson? They'll get your ass, undoubtedly. Tommy kept the album spinning on Jackson's inherited stereo, picked up and dropped the tone arm over and over. No one better complain, he thought. Mountain's theme was fucking epic. Listen for fucking ever. Magic words here, boys. Tommy pushed his ear closer to the speaker, face flat, sniffing Jackson's floor, eyes closed again to keep viewing his in-head movie, the hazy wagon train, now moving through endless forest of muted, dripping colors to who the hell knew where, to the forest and further on. But Jackson's statement about Herzog dead and then Samson dropping his SATs interrupted the film, overtook it enough so right there, while the sun was in their eyes, Tommy lost its drift. He stopped, pondered goodness, which he, Jackson, Rafe, and Jose mostly were, at home at St. Mike's, in the world on a grand scale. The movie got back on track, but then whammo! Tommy realized his quiet wish. How about not being so good? How about going way the fuck out, like on the wagon train, say, to uncharted territory, at least once? The wish was real, no movie. He didn't want to live bad, but try bad, see how bad felt. Maybe that'd get him some notice from Marcia in their classic civs class. Cute Miss McGraw teaching it, a bonus. Dead Herzog, Samson in peril, imaginary Western. Tommy melted into the blurred tree branches, scratching on the attic window, calling him with words brilliant and sparkling. Move, they said, but the night outside was much too dark. Try, they called, yet all he did was put his ear on the damn speaker, the buzz raising his neck hairs. When the song finished, he lifted the tone arm and dropped it right back onto the cut. The movie restarted. In a rush, the guitar entered. Tommy shook, bolted upright, got it. He knew he had to save Samson's ass. He'd be the one to take the SATs. Fuck the system. He'd get that jock into college, keep him out of war. Fuck cares it's not right. Fuck cares you'll get in trouble. He'd be the man. A week later, St. Michael's boys and girls held vigil for 3 days in the gym, praying for our first fallen hero who died on the Feast of the Epiphany, as Brother David said. That means something. The assembly waited to be told what, but Big Bro D never revealed. February. They slid over Hudson City Park's lake, freeze-ass wind whistling hard and fast across gray ice, no regard for the sun staying up longer, its tentative light letting the world know dead, cold days wouldn't last forever. Sunnies, catfish, and the mythical stinker slept under ice, jammed into every kind of tossable trash, suspended in deep winter mode. Fishies waited for thaw, for corn niblets on kids' and old men's hooks. The boys scrunched up their shoulders, necks compacted below fake fur collars. To the island, Rafe yelled, fist raised. Once they made the lake's middle, Jose stepped up first, onto the isle's dried grass and shrubs that'd be wetland, inaccessible come spring. What the fuck is this? Rafe stopped, kicked a small football-sized mess of feathers, 4 or 5 of the same together, immobile. The dead ducks, Jackson said. They huddle in winter and freeze, kaput. Shit, Rafe, Jose said. What are you kicking dead animals for? You got no conscience, man? Those ducks are victims of the earth. Rafe scraped his shoe top on the hard ground. I didn't know. Really, I didn't. His face showed white, ready to hurl, not his usual brown self. I'm out of here. He hustled off the island. Sorry, I'm really sorry. Why would I hurt a duck? He walked toward the trees at the south end of the lake, maples dense enough for creeps to hide, for junkies to shoot up without bother. It's dead, man. You can't hurt it when it's dead, Jackson shouted, lit a joint while they watched Rafe walk away. They're geese, anyhow, not ducks, Rafe yelled right before he got swallowed into the woods. I'm going too. This island is spooked, man, Jose said. Tommy elbowed Jackson once they were alone. Listen, I'm only telling you because you were close to Herzog. Tommy waited a second, 2, 15 more, waited for Jackson to take a long, quiet drag, blue eyes severely crossed and fixed on the end glow, seeds popping sparks as he drew deep. Whatever, Tommy finally muttered. Jackson, don't tell anyone and don't lecture me. Tommy laid out his plan and his desire. I'm going to help Samson. I'll stop there. Thank you.
Wow. Beautiful reading, Morrow. Gorgeous reading.
Thanks, James. Thanks so much.
I mean, it brings back, the Hudson County of 1966 or 1965. And I remember I wasn't living in Hudson County then. I was living in Middlesex County. But the energy you capture of the way people thought and the way they spoke, it makes me remember that I was a child when I was worried about being sent to Vietnam. I never was sent. I was sent to Vietnam by my boss, but never by the government. I went in 1991. But my whole high school, I worried, am I going to be one of the guys whose unlucky number gets picked in the, and I remember John Kerry saying, as when he was the Vets Against the War, he was the head of the Vets Against the War before he was a senator. Anyway, he said, who wants to be the last man to die in a war that's already been conceded? Something to that effect. Anyway, you bring all that back, and I think about Herzog, I think about Sampson, I think about Jackson, and that you were able to evoke, I'm going to use the expression innocence, although it's not exactly what I mean, but the innocence of the people who were about to go to Vietnam. And, we all had people who died over there, like Herzog. Anyway, beautiful stuff. I hope you get it published. I'd like to read it. And that sort of writing about something we all shared together, that experience, that horrible experience of, Southeast Asia is actually a nice place, but when I was a kid, it looked like a nightmare to me. it was an imaginary Western. That was a mountain song. Am I mistaken there? Or
That's absolutely right, James.
so Leslie West was playing that.
Yeah, Leslie, I just wanted to say, for those of you who don't know Mountain, it was a band that was quite popular. And weirdly, I finished this piece a year ago, December, and a few days after I finished it, Leslie West died. So he was the lead guitarist for the band. And one other thing, and the song is themed for an imaginary Western, which I recommend everyone listen to. And one other thing, I picked January 6, 1971, because it's the Feast of the Epiphany, if you happen to know Catholicism at all. And it was before January 6th meant what it does now to us, having lived.
Whoa, I never thought of that. Yeah, wow.
Lived through January 6th, 2021, when a different kind of war was going on. So anyhow, that's my comment.
Isn't it funny that those guys that attacked the Capitol, there was something very childish about their behavior that day. It looked like they were having some kind of weird fun. And to read later on that 70% of the police said like 70% of them were carrying, reefer and stuff, that they were having a party. And they were shocked that they even got in trouble. Somehow it rhymes with the strange characters that you evoke in your story about kids about to go to Vietnam.
Yeah, and weirdly that it's December 7th, and another couple of anniversaries for some terrible times in our country. So anyhow, thank you so much, and thanks.
Hey, Rich. Yeah, well, I want to thank both of you guys. I think it's interesting that at different points, you two guys, your writing got to a point and then you start breaking into singing. You're up on the roof of sort of talking, and then it starts to sing. And it wasn't like a break in the stuff to do it. It wasn't like pause, comma, or quotations, sing, unquotations. It was like part of it, almost like walked off the sentence into a song. I think that's pretty cool, actually, anyway.
Rich encouraged me when I heard him sing. I thought, oh, I could do that too.
Why not? No, absolutely.
It was great. It was fun. It was fun to hear you sing, man.
Thank you.
I mean, more fun to hear your poems. It was great, Rich.
You guys were both great tonight, I thought. I thought this was a very powerful reading. All around was great.
Yep. From two old classmates.
Very classy for you old classmates.
That's right.
Very, very, very classy.
Yep. We both sat in a poetry survey class with Rachel Haddis at Rutgers Newark.
That's right. That's right.
What an amazing professor. I'm not. Is she retired yet, or is she still?
I believe she's retired. Yeah, and I see her poems in the New Yorker every so often. So, which is really cool to see.
Yeah. So we share her in common, at least.
I'll say we share Jersey, and we don't share being afraid of getting drafted to the Vietnam War. So
no.
I could tell you that sucked.
You don't want to share. You wouldn't want to have that shared, but
definitely not.
It would even suck more with you actually be drafted to the Vietnam War. That would really suck. I did not, thank you, whoever, that I did not have to go through that. I turned 19 the year that Nixon ended the draft because he wanted to get reelected.
Huh.
So we used to get together when I was 18 at this bar called Wally's. It was in Bergenfield, New Jersey. And a couple of guys who'd been to Vietnam would sit around the bar. And Roger Grimsby, who was the guy on ABC News, who was like the anchor man.
He was the voice of God in my house.
Yeah, okay. So he would pull numbers out of like a bingo thing, and it would be dates. And if your birthday was like in the first 150, hello, Saigon. And the way it was explained, they said, man, it's like this. They don't even fly you on a troop plane. What they do is you fly Pan Am to Manila. And in Manila, you get on an army plane and you fly to Saigon. You do some shit in Saigon for like 6 weeks. Then you get on a helicopter. You go up north somewhere, not North Vietnam, but South Vietnam. And then like after 2 weeks, you come back, but you have to rappel down. I'm thinking, oh shit, man. I'm like 15 years old.
Wow.
I don't, it's funny because I had a conversation with a guy down at the Jersey Shore recently on Long Beach Island. And he was telling me how much he misses or he feels regret that he couldn't have gone to Vietnam. So I said, you think if you'd gone, they would have won? He said, no, I don't, I said, so what?
Well, you never know.
Vietnam
I
is
was
just
pretty
there
good
for
at
you
that,
to be
man.
able to prove that you're a real man, like I didn't say that because I didn't want to get my nose flattened, But I mean, what a wonderful perspective, a horrible perspective on the world. That other countries exist strictly so that you can reach your manhood.
My big fears when I was a kid was first before Vietnam that I'd somehow get arrested and go to jail for like a Kafka thing. Like, not that I was a bad kid or anything, but something would happen. And then when I got to be about 15, 16, I was like, I'm gonna get fucking drafted, go to Vietnam, and I'll be dead within a week. That was my fear, and I bet a lot of guys our age, it was our fear.
I was ready to go. I mean, I didn't want to go to Canada, and I didn't want to go to jail because jail is horrible. I mean, jail would be like being in an eternal gym class, with all the guys in uniforms be like gym teachers who were unhappy with you all the time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to thank you guys for giving us a great reading. I don't know what it was just so good. It made me think a lot about Tim O'Brien, the things they carried.
Yeah.
That's such a beautiful, if people who are listening, if you want to read a great Vietnam memoir, when you're done with Morrow's, read The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien. That's the best memoir I've ever read. I probably read 24 memoirs. That's the best. Anyway, thanks again, guys. And what beautiful poetry, Rich.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to get both of you guys back as soon as enough time has passed so that it doesn't look like I'm playing favorites or something.
I always have fun when I'm here. I miss being in person. So just as soon as there's a room that we can kind of occupy together, I'm really looking forward
News
to that.
on that front. Okay, I was talking to one of the owners of the Fox and Crow. They're going back to do it. They're doing live music again. And the thing is we can't get Tuesdays because Tuesdays are being used. But maybe we can get Wednesdays. Maybe the next reading in January, which I got a feeling is going to be the writer and terrific poet Greg Masters. And the other is, at this point, a surprise, a mystery guest.
Okay.
But we'll be back at the Fox and Crow, I'm thinking January 5th, which is the first Wednesday in the month. Now, I don't have that down. I don't have that nailed down.
Okay.
That's a hope. But both of you guys, I want to have you back at the Fox and the Crow. I want to see you do this stuff live.
I would love it.
You did it great. You did it great on Zoom. Both of you've always been great with this stuff. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
And
yeah.
Thanks.
So everybody that's tuning in, maybe the next one, January 5th, maybe we'll be at the Fox and the Crow. I'm going to be finding out this week, I think. Anyway, I think that we've kind of run our time. So thanks again, guys. And I don't know where we go from here. We might have to just stay here.
Thank you.
We may be trapped in this void forever.
It's like a Jean-Paul Sartre. It's no exit.
Thanks, Rich, for sharing your work. It was so great to be with you, brother.
I
Really.
appreciate you too, sir.
Yeah,
Oh, by the
man.
way, I went to Rutgers too. I went to one semester of graduate school with Dr. Carlstone in New Brunswick.
Well, I went to 3 semesters of graduate school and then kind of went by the wayside myself. But it was
I just
fun.
couldn't.
It was fun while it lasted.
They had us reading all this stuff like, I don't know, Thomas Stearns in a week. Read 700 pages of See on Thursday,
Right.
I don't read that fast. But then I found out later that most graduate students, they read like, a chapter. But I was like, oh, I got to read this whole book. What a knucklehead.
Thanks to everyone for tuning in, too. All you out there in Zoom or
Yes,
whatever land.
much appreciated.
All friends, family, colleagues.
My promotional life was unfortunately not as robust as I would have liked. I actually just got over a hospital stay, so I had some other things going on, but it's a beautiful thing. Anyhow, so
hope you're feeling better, Rich. Take good care, man.
Hanging in there.
All right.
Every day above ground is a good day.
That's right. That's right.
All right, James. I think we got the cue to go. So
okay, Jocelyn, do your magic. Thanks to RNA for hosting this, and thanks to our writers. And you guys, send me an address. Take care, everybody.
All right. See you.